Hey, what's up, guys? Jared Redding, David Johnson at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. We just got finished with a fall camp scrimmage, if you will, in the stadium. Some people showed up and got to see it for themselves. And David, first let's talk quarterbacks. Obviously, both guys weren't perfect today. I guess the pass rush didn't really help. That matters. But you said earlier we may have seen a little bit of separation, but once again, this may not translate, obviously, to a couple weeks.
I think you saw some separation today, to be honest with you. Jackson Dart was on the money. Threw for more than 250 yards, a couple touchdown passes, no interceptions. And, that was the thing we really wanted to see, is how Jackson would perform under duress. And he performed very well today. Not that Luke Altmaier didn't. Luke completed 14 of 20 passes, one interception there at the end. But the day belonged to Jackson Dart, if you ask me, at least statistically, moving the ball up and down the field, big throws. Jackson Dart stood tall.
Yeah, speaking of duress and speaking of pressure, we saw a good bit of that today, and JJP spoke to the press afterwards. Just talked about his camp, defensive line. We looked at this, at this defensive line and just kind of front seven. What just stood out today? Yeah,
the interior pass rush. I mean, on a day where Cedric Johnson didn't hardly see the field, Lane handled this like they do in the NFL. He didn't play a lot of key guys. You didn't see a lot of Nick Broker. You didn't see a lot of Cedric Johnson. You didn't see a lot of Zach Evans, Jonathan Mingo, guys like that. They already know what their worth is. But the interior pass rush, J.J. Peages. He had 2 sacks today and really and truly performed incredible. So that's what I saw today, J.J. Peages.
Obviously, a lot of work to be done on both sides of the ball, but as we go into these couple weeks leading up to the season opener, what do you think are some of the biggest emphasis for just this team, just schematically, playing-wise, all the way up until we get to the season opener?
I think the biggest thing, obviously, is deciding who a quarterback is. And now I kind of know what Lane meant. I asked him a question a week ago or so, about the quarterback situation. He said, I'd rather have it decided sooner than later. And, I think you want the win behind your starting quarterback. You don't want him just barely winning the job right before the season starts. I know we've talked a lot about you can play both of them in the month of September, and you definitely can, but you got to have a guy. And, to me, I just got to tell you, for the first time, really all camp, I thought Jackson Dart created the separation today. I think that's the key to this football team. You got to find the right quarterback. Which one is it going to be? And by the way, Kincaid Dent, 7 for 7 today. Played a hell of a ball game, to be honest with you. So I want to give a shout out to him as well. Finding the depth at linebacker that you're going to need to go through a 12-game SEC schedule. To me, those are the 2 keys. I think you've got a kicker in Jonathan Cruz, who booted 7 for 7 today, if I'm not mistaken, from all over the field. You added a punter. The verdict's still out on him. He's got a couple of days to go without any pads on before he can get on the field. Jared and I watched him kick in the pregame today. Kind of a portly fellow, if you will. Lane made a joke about that in the post-game press conference. But nevertheless, those are the issues I see. Everything else, I think A-OK. The offensive line today, though, I will say this, a little bit different than what we've seen. Obviously, he didn't play Broker a whole lot, so filling in for Broker was Jalen Cunningham. Brooks got hurt at some point in the scrimmage, not bad. I don't believe he jogged off the field. And that caused him to switch Jeremy James to right tackle and put Jaden Williams in at left tackle. Keep your eye on Jaden Williams. Don't be surprised in some way or another if he doesn't crack this starting 5.
Although today was kind of a culmination of a couple weeks of fall camp, they're not done, and we're not done covering it for you. Myself, David Johnson, and Tyler Comas will continue to have you covered all the way up until the season opener, and obviously we'll have you covered through the whole season, so stay on board for that.